What's going on, man? Another episode on Wealth is Gangster. You know, we here for the second week in a row. We trying to build up our consistency. You understand me? I got the homie in the building today. You know what I'm saying, me? How you doing today?
That's right. Shalom and blessings. We're doing very well on this side.
I
Yes,
love the
sir.
hat. I see the hat. I love it. I love it. So
Oh yeah.
we're gonna get ready to present. You're gonna be showing a couple slides in a minute. But as I get everything shown off, let's tell the people about the big event that's coming up next. I know it's sold out, so we can't like push it to more people, but just tell them
Right.
what you expect, who I was in it, and what kind of like inspired the whole situation.
Okay. So yeah, the event, Best in Bell County event. It's an introduction into real estate investing. It's going to be me, my partner, Jerry Pearson. It's going to be Ari or Arica Price, man. She's like one of the top producing realtors in Bell County, Texas. It's going
Okay.
to be Hussein, Mathman, Abdullah, H.A. Holmes. Man, this guy right here is crazy. If you go and check out like his social media, he's been in real estate, I think, man, going on 8+ years, but he hit the ground running and just started blowing up, and he really documents his journey and things of that nature. And he's always adding value. One of the best people I know, real talk.
That's
And then
what's
it's Lakeisha Herrera. She has Coaching Your Greatness. She's a business coach, but then she also specializes in short-term rentals, Airbnb, VRBO, things of that nature, so that people can come in and get a greater understanding of how to capitalize on that specific game. And then Regis Jones, he has the Urban Power connections as far as like crowdfunding. I know he has some construction, also some Airbnb, but he's really going to be touching on the crowdfunding in this particular event. So, man, it's a fabulous lineup. Yeah, so
that's a
it's
lot of
going
information
down.
that's gonna be coming on, man. It's gonna
Yeah, and I don't want to give away too much, but
yeah,
it's real.
yeah,
It's real player because each one of us have our own specific skill set.
yeah.
We understand several different areas of the real estate game, but the way that it's lined up is like, Erica Price, she's really gonna add some value to you in regards to like the ownership aspect of the real estate game, right? And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna come in and we're gonna be talking about, being able to make money with no money or a little to no money,
Yeah.
doing some of the strategies that I am talking about. And then you have, you know, my good friend Lakeisha, she's going to be talking about like Airbnb, and then you got Regis, he's talking about crowdfunding. So it's like a straight lineup to
Yeah.
where everybody's in the building, to where you really don't even need any outside information other than what's going to be in that building at that specific time. So it's really exciting.
And I like, especially for this area, because we're not new to it, but we're new to it, especially us, as a whole, as people that's been doing it for years, but as a whole, as conversational pieces, different things like that, we're new to it. So
Right.
this is an event that y'all easily could have had a good ticket price on there. So what
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
inspired just the free? Was it just the value that you want that y'all want to just pour into the community, or was it just like more of a let's get this one and see how this go, and then we'll go from there? Like because that lineup right there, that's a lineup you'll pay for.
Right. I think that's why it sold out so quickly as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah.
So we're gonna see what it looks like as far as the head count on March 9th. But what inspired it was, yeah, it was the adding value to our community. We talked about this last time
Yeah.
about being able to buy and we're gonna talk about it a little bit today, being able to buy your time back,
Hmm.
right? So then you have the income to take care of your own financial needs, but now you're in a position to impact
Yeah,
the community because you have that time. You're not in survival mode anymore.
yeah.
So it's real important that we got together and we all shared that same type of vision, that same mindset to add value to the community. Now, don't worry, the paid one, I ain't gonna say too much, but
Yeah,
the
yeah,
paid
yeah.
one is on the way,
As it
right?
should be, as it should be.
Yeah. But this one, we really wanted to, shake hands and rub shoulders with just some of the community and get them the information that needs so that they can get started. Especially, so that's why we made it free, because we want to attract that free crowd. Not saying that, that free crowd is less than or whatever, but we want to get hands on with that free crowd, because ultimately it's about adding value and providing solutions to our community.
Yeah.
Right. So we really wanted to just create opportunity for all of us in the same room to, get some quality information out there, and add value to the local area.
That's big, man. But before I throw it to you, because I know you're going to present some slides and we're going to go through that. It's really than real estate, right? It's really than real estate.
Right.
And I get glimpses of your long days, and so let's talk about the grind that you live in right now. Let's go into that for a small segment before we get into the slides.
Right.
What is the daily grind, the daily mindset, the daily ups and downs, hurdles? Give us an insight on what you go through on a day in, a day out with this lifestyle.
Right. So I'll start from, the beginning, and then I'll kind of back up to where I am now. So it was always, I heard this thing called income producing activities,
Okay.
right? So income producing activities in your specific business or your specific industry, market, whatever the case may be, whatever's going to make you money, that's what I have to be doing.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, that's talking to people, that's walking the properties, that's knocking on doors, that's driving around looking for properties. And then if I see, not just driving around taking the number down, but driving around, if I see it, I'm driving to the whole other side of town to find to knock on the owner's door.
Yeah.
Because every single activity that I do, all my behaviors need to be making me money. Like, I think, especially with us, we get into it and the first thing we ask is, man, do I need a LLC? Or, man, do I need a logo?
Yeah.
Things of that nature, right? That's not income producing activities. Income producing activities is writing down a list of things that I need to do on a daily basis that can make me money, and then filling up my day with those things.
Yeah.
So before, I mean, that would be trying to do my best to talk to 50 people a day, in the beginning.
Yeah.
I done bought some of my time back now,
But
and
you got to start somewhere. Yeah.
yeah, and put some systems and some processes in place, to where, my team can talk to 50 people on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
It's not just me, or we can talk to 60, 70, 80 people on a
More,
daily
yeah.
basis,
More,
right?
more.
Yeah. So that's what it would look like. Now it looks like more of, analyzing, trying to find new ways to make money, because I learned this from you, as far as, your avenues of revenue, right? Not just having one way to make money, but having 7 ways to make money. And then you don't need, like, I think guy last night, what's his name, Mr. Davis, Cameron, right?
Oh yeah, Cameron Davis. Yeah.
Man, that was so live, that interview last night, or whenever y'all had that
Yeah.
interview,
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
was talking about, we trying to get to 10,000, but really I just need to get to 500.
Yeah. That's it.
So if I can create 7 business at 500, that's 3,500. If I can do that twice, if I can do that 3 times, now I'm creating enough revenue on a
Mhm.
monthly basis, right? And then if I put the systems and the processes in place to where I'm not the one actually doing the manual labor on
Yeah.
it, but I got a team, that can efficiently and effectively do it. Now I got 7, 8, 9, 10 businesses that I'm hands off with. Now I can go utilize my time in a more effective way from where I am currently today.
And it is giving you more wealth, because like I say, wealth is not just money. Wealth is your time. Wealth is you've been living life on your terms, right? Like most of us, we live life a certain way. We can't do what we want to because we have to be here to work. We have to be here for that. So our whole life as a whole, we really told when we can do this, or that's why we love holidays so much, because that's when the system gives us off. You know what I'm saying? Like if the system didn't give us off and all that, I don't think we would love holidays so much. We cherish it because
That's real.
we might get a little bonus with this and that, but everybody, we can come together because your boss let you off, my boss let me off. We're all off for this week. So let's get together as a family, because the rest of the year I won't see y'all no more, because they're not letting me off no more for the rest of the year. You know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Nah,
So
that's real. That's 100.
that's the powerful part that I like. Like when I tell people my wealth right now, as I build and as I get it to where it's monetarily and it's more assets and all that, that's a part of wealth. But my wealth now is I live life on my terms. It's not that I got more money than the next man. It's that I live up under my means and I can do what I want when I want to. That's my wealth right now. I'm building for the monetary wealth. I'm building for the asset wealth. I'm building for all that. But right now I'm wealthy because I wake up every day and I'm on my schedule, you know. Right. And that's a part of wealth. Like you say, that time, because that's something you don't get back, you know. And like I say, burying my big bro last week, that lets me know, like, man, I wish we could have got to this mountaintop faster. Then I could have enjoyed him more. I couldn't enjoy him because in the last 5-10 years, I've been in the grind trying to get it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, so that time that you can, like you say, you bought back some of your time. So that's something you can work, or that's something you can be with the wife and spend more family time. You know what I'm saying? It's on your terms now. It's not that you have to make 50 calls no more. You can still make 50 calls if you personally choose to, but you're not forced to. And that's the part that we trying to push when we say about mindset. We talk about wealth building. It's not always about money. It's about putting yourself in a position where you can live life on your terms, and it's more freer. You can do something. Right. Yeah.
That's right. And you know, that was me and Jerry's, one of me and Jerry's visions for this business, as far as this real estate business.
We on YouTube. It was this gangster. Go ahead. I'm just talking to the Instagram cap.
Oh yeah. No worries. That was one of me and Jerry's visions that we agreed upon. It was like, man, you know, we want to be able to be free, right? We want to be able to not have to clock in, not have to worry about clocking out, not have to worry about overtime just to make the bill, just to pay the bills, things of that nature. We were more interested in, you know, operating on our own time and putting a system in place to where it would benefit us and not have. And now, don't get it twisted. Like, we still work.
Oh yeah, you gonna work. You gonna work. But see, one thing I learned. The few jobs I did have, I used to hate waking up at 6, 7. And then I walk into the plant and I smell all these chemicals burning, like my stomach. And I thought it was something wrong with me, but then I realized I sleep less now and work more, but it's more joyful because it's on my terms. It's what I want. You know, when I was forced to be at work at 6 or 7, my body just didn't want to wake up. Now I don't have to be nowhere. My body just up because it's a more purposeful feel thing. Not, well, I got to do this for this check, and I really don't want to. You know, that's a difference. That's a difference.
Right. No, that's a big difference.
Yeah. So we about to go ahead and get ready to load up the slide. Tell us what the slides what you're about to be displaying to us tonight.
Okay, sure thing. So, you know, this realer than real estate. So, although we're gonna keep it real, you know, we do want to discuss real estate as well. You know, so I just got a slide to talk about some things that I learned early when I was learning and understanding just the real estate game, because that's exactly what it is. Real estate is a game.
Yeah.
And the way that I learned it was, you know, if you think about a game board, you know, you got different pieces on the game board that do different things. So that's exactly how real estate is. Like, you don't play with the same piece on the board everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you got to change the piece here and there to be able to successfully complete or win the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if you trying to do one strategy in real estate and just that, then because the market changes always, then you know, there's different phases to the market, then every single strategy isn't always going to work in every single phase. You see, so that's what we'll talk about a little bit, is just 3 phases of real estate, and then we'll talk about something that I learned that was just very powerful, and it was just the three currencies that we all have. All right. We ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me see. All right. It'll be, we'll just pop it up for just a minute. Can you see that?
Yes, sir. Here we go.
We got it on the screen.
There you go. Yes, sir.
All right, bet. So here is, three phases. Now, of course, everybody got their own philosophy, but these are the three phases of real estate as far as we're concerned. So we have a create cash phase, right? So a lot of people in our community, including how I started myself, got into real estate with zero money. Sometimes I still can create cash with zero money, but it's through these different strategies right here. So in the create cash phase, you have wholesaling real estate, you got flipping houses, and then you got what's called like a bird dog, right? So wholesaling real estate is like assigning a contract. So let's say that I'm driving down the street and I see a property that's boarded up. So I contact the owner. I ask him would he like to sell his property. He says yes. I offer him $50,000, right? But if I don't have the $50,000, then I can't purchase this property. Doesn't mean I can't make the offer. Doesn't mean I can't get it under contract, but I don't have the money to close on it, right? So what I have to do is I have to sell it or wholesale it at assign the contract to somebody that does have the $50,000 and charge them a fee. Let's call it $55,000, right? So that's technically what wholesaling is that I locate a deeply discounted property, I get it under contract, and then I assign that contract for a fee to what's called an end buyer. He's the one that's going to close on it at the title company. Is they're going to facilitate the entire transaction. The title company is going to issue a title policy and get the title to the new buyer. He's going to get the money to the seller, and then there's going to be $5,000 left. I just created some cash. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't need any money to do it. Okay, all I needed was my time and my knowledge. So then you have flipping houses. Um, so this is also a create cash phase or what's considered earned income,
Mhm.
right? So in real estate, create cash is basically the create cash phase is basically like earned income. You eat what you kill. Um, so if I spend, $50,000 to buy that house, and then I put another $20,000 into that house, and I make $30,000 profit for selling it for $100,000, then although I made $30,000 on that, I got to do it again to keep eating. You see, it's a eat what you kill type of it's a eat what you kill phase. So it's the create cash phase. And
Yeah.
then bird dogging is like if I know a wholesaler or I know an investor, and then I know, somebody down the streets, mama's cousins, nephew's uncle that want to sell their house, and then I bring it to him and he might pay me a fee of like a little referral fee of like 1,500, 2,000 or something like that. That's like a bird dog. The guy shoots the bird and then the dog goes and gets it and brings it back. That's why it's called bird dog. So
Okay.
that's the,
That's
right,
I
right,
never heard of that phase right there, bird dog. I know that's a new one for me, so I just learned something myself.
right. So that's the create cash or the earned income phase. That's earned income. Right. I should have put that on there, but that's earned income. So then the second phase, and my philosophy is as you start to create cash, then you start to invest that cash into cash flowing assets, assets that create a positive income or revenue. And that's called create cash flow, or people like to call it residual income or passive income. None of our rentals are passive, you know what I'm saying? But rental period is not really passive. People like to say it's passive income, but it's technically not passive because you do have to, work whether you managing it or you're not managing it,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
right? There's something that you got to do. with it. So you got short-term rentals, Airbnbs. There's so many ways to create cash flow with an Airbnb. Like I know somebody that buys, or I'm sorry, they lease apartments and then they sublease apartments on Airbnb and then make what's called rental arbitrage. So if the rent is 1,200 a month, but they Airbnb it and they making 2,100 a month, then they make the difference on it. You see? Minus any expenses like utilities and things of that nature. That's called rental arbitrage. So there's so that's creating a cash flow, right? Because every month this thing is going to produce some cash every month, unlike the create cash or the earned income phase where you actually have to eat what you kill. You have to
Yeah.
actually have to work and then you
You
get
get it
the
off.
cash.
Yeah.
Right. This one should be reoccurring on a monthly basis. It should be flowing, right? So then you got like just your standard rental houses can do that for you. You spend $50,000 on a house, you rent it out for $800 a month. Your mortgage payment is 400, so you should be cash flowing $400 a month, right? Without fail, as long as you keep it going, it should be
Yeah.
flowing for you, right? And then you have like the owner finance. So I can either buy it or I can sell it owner finance. Like you experienced this, right? So with the with your situation, right?
Yeah.
With your project, one of your projects. Right? Wait, with most of your projects,
Yeah. Yeah. For
right?
sure.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
tell people when you ain't got the money, you gotta get creative, man.
That's right. That's right. And that's what this phase is also about. It's about being creative. And sometimes you have to have cash to get it. With rental housing,
Yeah,
typically you have to have some type of cash.
for
With
sure.
Airbnb or short-term rentals, typically you have to have some type of cash. Owner finance, unless you got a mouthpiece like yourself, typically you got to have some cash. But this specific phase is to take your money and make your money work for you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I know me personally, I never learned that about currency.
Mhm.
That's why they call it currency, is because it's supposed to flow.
Oh,
It's supposed to go out and bring back more.
mhm.
It's really the function of currency. That's why it goes in a bank, and that's why it's called liquid.
Yeah.
You see, and that's why if you do something illegal, they're gonna freeze it.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It,
know what I'm saying?
it all go together.
It,
The
it,
word
it
play.
all goes it
Yeah,
all goes together with the wordplay, right?
for
So
sure. For sure.
that's really the function of currency or cash, is to go out and bring back more, right? But again, we've been told to spend or to save, and even those two have their rightful place, but
Yeah, yeah.
neither one of them will do what the next phase is, which is create wealth. You can't save your way to wealth and you cannot spend your way to wealth. You can
Yeah.
only invest your way to wealth. So
Yes,
the next phase, once you get out of this cash flow phase and you build up your cash flow, is that's when you can really create wealth. So this phase is about creating like a portfolio, right? It's about having, 5, 10, 15, 20 assets. They don't all have to be the same commodity.
yeah.
And you can or cannot, or you should diversify, but you don't necessarily have to
Yeah.
100%, but it's smart to, right? But so you had that type of portfolio income where you may have, you know, 20 properties that might just get you, let's say, $500 a month. That's $10,000 a month,
Yeah.
you know,
That,
if
that,
I'm doing my math right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's $10,000 a month,
Yeah.
and you wake up in the morning, you kind of handle that, and then I mean, it come every month.
Yeah.
So once you get into that at a greater level, you have your portfolio, then you can really leverage your portfolio and you can really start lending money. So if you're getting money at like 6%, you can lend it at 12%, and you're making double. I know several people that do that at with a lot of money. They got so many assets that the bank might allow them to loan money out and things of that nature. And then you have things like crowdfunding, not funding for not actually getting money from the crowd, but the assets that you utilize with the crowdfunding, such as commercial projects, big apartments where you get qualified investors, credentialed investors to come in and create some type of development and things of that nature, and you can really leverage your portfolio to purchase into a percentage in those type of opportunities. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So once you get to that create wealth phase, I mean, that's really when you starting to get with the big dogs as far as real estate investing and things of that nature.
Yeah. Nah, that in the portfolio, that's like I have a mentor. He got $1,000 that he get to pay from every month. Like just
That's right.
imagine that, bro. It's just a that
That's right.
you know what I'm saying?
It's
And that's
crazy.
why you say that the diversity we're told that it is good because I'm diverse in my investments. But if you got $1,000, you don't have to be diverse. You go you
That's
can
right.
stick to just real estate. You know what I'm saying? You can
That's
figure it
right.
out. So
That's right.
I always tell people there's no one set way to get wealth. There's not no one person like this the only way. It's many different ways. You got to figure out what works with you, what works with your personality and your mindset on the way you see things. So that's important too when we talk about all this wealth. Always do it from your perspective, like the way you do it. You like me when you talk about business, you tell me what days you do stuff, what days you don't. You do it so you do it on a grind, but you do it in your version of your way that works for
Right.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the part of the freedom. Because if you had a job, they don't care about what you don't do on this day or what you ain't. They don't care about that. You got to show up this day or you're fired.
Right.
That's a
Right.
part of wealth that you put yourself in position where you can say, I don't do nothing on this day. This is the day I do this on. This is the day I do that on. You know what I'm saying? So that's a
Right.
part of it, man. So yeah, continue to go on. But I just want to throw that in when you had said that. Because a lot of people will say, well, that's crazy. He just said, don't diversify. You don't have to. He didn't say that. It's good to diversify,
Yes.
but you're not forced to if you get yourself in a certain position in that field that you're in.
Right. Right. They used to say, jack of all trades, but master of none, right?
Yeah.
And but you can be a master of many things,
Yeah.
because the only thing matters is if you master yourself.
Yeah.
And once you do that, then, the sky's the limit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we good with this one. I'll get on to the next one. All right, it's one of my favorite
How
ones
long
real
did
quick.
you talk about the lending part? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That the lending is like, if I have that 1,000 properties and I'm making, let's say, $1,000 a month
Yeah.
on, I'm making $1,000 off of 1,000 properties. That's $1 million a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
You see? So now I got 12 million a year. You see? So I can go and leverage that
Yeah.
with the bank, and now I can go and I can connect with local or even nationally, but I can go and connect with people like me, people like you that have the hustle, have the systems and the processes in place, have the dream and the vision, and the willpower to create businesses, whether it's in real estate or other businesses for that nature. And I can start loaning you money at interest.
Yeah. You
So
you
now
become the bank.
I become that's exactly right. I become the bank.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So that's what the lending is. I know a few people that do that. And they lend millions.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
lend millions. They have, a small group of specifically real estate, but real estate investors that do flips, and I'm talking about 12%.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Running.
talking about. So you just created off of 12 million a year just off of lending. You could create like $1.4 million a month just off of lending.
Not even, yeah. You just lending what you already got coming in.
That's right.
Yeah. Nah, that's
That's
big.
right.
Big.
That's right.
So what do I need to remove this before you can set another one up, or how does that
No,
work?
no, I think I got,
Oh,
yeah, I
you got it
think I
on here.
got,
Okay, I didn't know if it was separate.
yeah,
Okay, I got you. I got
right, right. So this one of my favorite ones that I love to talk about, right? So this is the three currencies. So you got your time, you got your knowledge, and then you got your money. So it's this is like I said, this is one of the greatest tools I ever understood. So whichever one you need, check this out. Whichever you need, use the other two to get it. Okay. So if you need knowledge, trade your time and money for it,
Yeah.
right? That's what they do in college or universities, right? People trade their time and their money for knowledge at a university. Okay. They go and spend their time there and they spend their money on course classes, right? Or you get like a mentor. You take courses, you do coaching, you get a coach. Even your YouTube is going to cost you some time and some money.
Yeah.
But if you need knowledge, trade your time and your money for it. If you need money, trade your time and your knowledge for it,
Yeah.
right? So that was me in the beginning. I didn't have no money. So what I needed to do was I needed to get the knowledge, which means that I needed to get on YouTube and I needed to take some time to understand what I needed to do as far as that's right, as far as getting into this real estate game, right? So then once I had the knowledge, then all I did was take my time, utilize those two together, and then I was able to get some money, right? So then the last one, I don't have it up here though, is then you take your money and your knowledge and then you buy back your time.
Yes. That's the
Right.
end goal. That's the end goal.
That's the end goal right there, is to get the knowledge that you need, get the money that you need, and then get your time back so that you can really fulfill your purpose. And I like how Cameron said it yesterday too, about like the passion versus purpose, and passion being emotional, but purpose really being like, what drives you, what wakes you up in the morning, what, keeps you up at night, that type of vibe right there. So I just wanted to share that, we all have, so we all don't have no excuse.
Yeah.
All we
No.
got to do is play the game the way it need to be played. If I need knowledge, then it might cost me a little bit of money. It might cost me a little bit of time. But once I get that knowledge, now I take that knowledge and I mix it with my time. Now I'm gonna get some money. Now, once I start to get the money, now I need to transition to taking my money with my knowledge and then buying my time back. So
Man,
that was
I love it. I love the way you just broke that down. Because I mean, I get it, but I just never thought about it like that. So the way you just, and that's what we got to do, because our people learn different. So we got to break it down to them different. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
I could have said that, and that's why it's good to have multiple voices that talk that same talk in that same language, because I have learned that from having different mentors and different teachers, that it's been some people that say the same thing to me, but this person connected different with me, So that's why I like to bring different people on with different personalities, different vibes, because I can sit here and say it all day, but somebody that can be listening to this, you just tapped into them because of the way your swag, or the way you present it, or just whatever it is. Even though it's the same information, it's something about
Right.
each individual that connects to different people different ways. And that's why it's great for us to do it in groups, because like that panel you got, there's going to be people that connect to this person different, you know what I'm saying? But it's powerful
right.
when you got a group, so you're going to get all of us. You might connect more to one person, but I can tap into you a little bit, so now you know of what I do and know what, so that's what we got to continue to do.
100.
I done had people come on and talk about insurance and stuff. Like Miss Brown, she's into the insurance game. She does the same thing. But I like to have different people, even though if they talk about the same thing, because I understand how I learned. I listened to 4 people talk about some, then I heard 19 Keys say it, and it's just like, oh, I get it now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I know that's powerful. So that's why I do that.
Right. Right. No, that's real. And I think, what's so important about that is because, especially when we connect together, you know what I mean? Because our people are so diverse,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
So it's important that, and we're so unique within our own right. But when we come together as a community, that's where our real power lies at, because uh, you know, that's mentorship, that's coaching, and that's kind of like why we wanted to start off doing something for free as far as this event. Was we wanted to connect with the local community and let them know we're here,
Yeah.
let them know that, hey, look, yes, we can be a resource to you, yes, we are an authority in this community, and if you need anything, we want to be your go-to, because our heart is to take care of you and get you the right information so that you can be successful.
Yeah.
And that don't happen with just one person, that happens with all of us.
Yeah, and it happens with consistency of all of us showing up, talking that same talk, and you'll learn that a lot of guys in these spaces, they say this, they have to say the same thing over it, but you always gonna catch different gems every time, But they have to
Right.
say it because they know just me saying you getting up there saying what you're saying on the 13th. You have to say that that's not gonna connect to everybody that you're trying to touch with that one time. So you might
Right.
have another speech weeks later and state similar things because it's every
Right.
time you're trying to reconnect to that message that same tone is trying to change things. So and that's what we do. We
Right.
get up on her and it's be sometimes we're what I always tell people, we got to normalize these conversations. I even tell you that all the time. We have
Mm-hmm.
these conversations, the way me and you talk, got to be normal in our community, which we know they're
Right.
not. You know what I'm saying? Like just black men getting together, consistently talking. Like every time me and you talk, we laugh and all, we joke and stuff, but we always talking about building. We always talking
Right.
about putting ourselves in position. And I don't know another way that especially black men should be getting together. I don't care if we having fun. I don't care if we having a barbecue. I don't care what we doing. We got to have a section of that's serious business about what we got to do. We got to, even if it's just a little section, you know what I'm saying? Then we can get back to the laughter, jokes, or whatever. But we got to have a building session even within our fun sessions because we're just so far behind everyone else. We got to stay focused on that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So what we gonna do now is we went through the slide and I loved it because you just taught me some and that's why I was so excited. That's why I got my ticket the other day. Like people don't understand. Like this guy is cool. We friends. We locked in, but like he always tell me what he learned from me. But I'm eager to learn from him too. And that's what we gotta push that and salute that. Like when I went live last night from the House of Resources from the guy, Mr. Wizzo, he just showed up in Part Love and he was like, well, now this about you. I'm like, no, let's talk about your podcast and what you got going on too. It's not about me. It's about us. It's
Right.
about us coming together at this central location. And hey, this is my partner. This is what he got going on. You know what I'm saying? But you need this the man to go. I tell people, I've never been. That's why I like to be around you when they talked about the wholesale. I like to be around certain people when they talk about stocks because I'm a person that got my hands in a lot of things, but they're not my forte. My forte is just a street mindset of never giving up. That I'm more and more instead of more like I'm not gonna sit and tell you about real estate. I'm gonna tell you that I'm into it. I'm gonna tell you that I know that I need to be diverse, but let me get my partner in here that really can break it down to you. You know what I'm saying? And we all got to know our strengths and be comfortable within our strengths. Like a lot of us get uncomfortable. Man, if you don't know nothing about it, kick it to the homie that do. What you uncomfortable about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna call you, Tony. If I'm feeling burnt out and I don't feel like doing anything,
we gotta
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you because you're gonna fire me up because you're gonna be talking about, man, you ain't got no excuses.
We gotta get it.
You gotta get it. People need you. Generational wealth. People need us.
Us.
Right? People need us. We gotta feed, not only feed ourselves, but feed our family, feed our community.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's special about you, special about us, is that we take from high level and bring it back to the people that we around.
Yeah.
You just was talking about like keys, right? So you like always tapped in with keys. Like I wasn't on keys till I met you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I got on keys and then I'm like listening to keys every day.
Yeah, I'm tapped all the way in with the homie.
Yeah. So it was like you taking the value that's outside of our community and bringing that value, that high level, back into our community, because then that's how you can duplicate, that's how you can
Yeah.
multiply, and that's how your community becomes valuable and successful and powerful,
Yeah.
because that energy starts to get in everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That,
once it starts to get
spirit.
in everybody and everybody get to moving it, then we mess around and find ourselves moving as one.
It builds up that confidence. Like I say, I had an idea I could do certain things, but when I heard Farrakhan, Dr. Boyce, I was like, hold on. I knew I wanted to run a business. I knew I had it in me. They just helped bring it out. Now I got the real confidence of I'm not scared to say what I'm standing on truth. I'm respectful. I'm this and that, but I stand on my truth. I got that from seeing other men like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's why I
Yes.
walk around unapologetically now, because I don't got nothing to apologize about. I don't disrespect nobody. I don't cuss nobody out. I don't talk
Right.
crazy. I come with an energy. I got a certain energy, but it's all
Right.
for the betterment of our people. It ain't never nothing
Right.
towards nothing negative. And you just
Right.
see, like, even when it is a quote unquote negative situation, I don't feed into it. I turn it positive. I'm not even gonna go that route. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And that's what we got to do. We got to channel those thoughts, those energies. I was listening to a guy the other day, man. Oh, I can't even remember who it was, but he was talking about Killer Mike. He was talking to T.I., and he was just talking about the jealousy, the envy, in the different ways that we think about, like, okay, say you've been grinding in real estate, right? And then you see somebody that just pop up on the scene and blow. And you over here like, hold on, I've been putting in work. I've been doing this. How did you do that? And he said, that's what you got to fight against, because we all got
Yes.
that
true.
that creeps up in it real quick. Like, hold
Yeah.
on. You got to check that.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, man. Like, it ain't my time or this and that. Salute you, homie. You know, whenever that comes in, get it out your system quick and go and get back to the business of just being thankful for what you got and what you building. You know what I'm saying? And we even if you get to a certain level, you always got a sense of that on some kind of level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
it's just about accountability, checking ourselves, and never falling for the stuff that creeps in our
Right.
mind.
Right. Right. That's what you just explained. That was like healing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like what healing is acknowledging that oh snap, I'm getting jealous. Oh snap, I'm getting envious. Nah, I need to put that in check. Nah, I need to cast that down.
Yeah.
Right? That's going through a healing process. It's like our minds need to be renovated. But sometimes what is going on, what the mind's frame that we're in, be crushed first.
Yeah.
Right? Which means we got to acknowledge that, man, I'm out of there. I'm talking about, I'm upset. My homeboy or my brother is doing well, but I'm not doing as well as he is. Right? So, and that's just some healing that we need to go through as a community. And like we were talking about last week, it's generational.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's generational. So I always say, generational wealth is not just in monetary. It's like what you was talking about mentorship.
Yeah.
You literally mentored by Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Right? That's your mentor.
Yes, sir.
You might not deal with him on a daily basis face to face,
Yeah.
but that's your mentor. And that's what we're missing a lot in our community, is that mentorship
Yeah.
from the elder to, I think, that's bridging the gap.
That's why we started.
Right?
That's exactly why I started that show, because I'm like, I felt it. It was something in me like, man, I don't want to talk to this older guy because I'm not submissive. I'm not super, you know how a lot of our older cats try to guide us into that. I'm like, that ain't been working. I'm not doing that. But I want to channel that because I don't want to be at odds with them either. So it's like, okay, I was like, man, I need to, and I was like bridging the gap. And then I thought about Miss Brown because she gave me that spirit of that motherly spirit, but she's more understanding. She gets it. That's why I was like, I want to have somebody that I can go back and forth about my ideas, like, or forget the NAACP, then she come back and be like, well, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? We figure out ways. I give her the younger perspective because I get the younger than me perspective. I'm 40, so I'm in the middle. She's 60 something, 60, 62, or, so she's a little older. I'm 40, but I still deal with the 10, 11, 12, 15, 18-year-olds. So I know their spirit too. And I'm like, okay, these older people talking down about the youngsters, but like I told her, I was like, well, let's start checking the older people. What are the institutions at? What are the systems that y'all didn't build? Where's all the stuff that these youngsters that y'all waving y'all finger at? Where's those systems that y'all should build? Don't be waving your finger at them if you never built nothing for them to be in a better position.
Right.
So those, and sometimes it's gonna get rough, but the solution in the getting to the end goal is what I'm all about. It's never, like I say, it's never about nothing disrespectful, but we're not going to just sit and blame the guy on the street because now I got to defend him. Why? Because I was that guy on the street. And why was that guy on the street? Because my mom was at work all the time. Wasn't no systems for me to go to no CEO youth league. Wasn't no systems when no guy on the street corner was telling me about stocks, bonds, real estate. And what these systems ain't in place for us. The guy on the street corner told me, man, here go a pack. You can make $100. My mind was blown. I can make $100. I'm out of there now, you know? So we can't just say, forget the youngsters, they hard-headed, they not listening, they this and that. And at the same time, we can't just say, forget the old people. They don't know this and they don't know that. We have to figure out, and the system know that. And that's why the system love that we're fractured, because if we don't get that elderly game and the elderly game don't come and get that young strength, we always going to be fractured as a community. And that's why I started Bridging the Gap, because I want to figure out, because it's bigger than me. Like, even if I feel a certain way about the NAACP, Ronnie Russell had called me, said, I see your post about this and that. I was like, he was like, but have you ever sit down and talk to him? I'm like, yeah, I just sit down and talk to a couple of them. He said, I want to set up a meeting because you're the voice of a lot of people in this area, and they need to hear your voice and respect it. And I'm like, I'll say, I'm cool with that. But let me tell you first, before we go in there, I'm not going to go in there on no, I always respect my elders, but I'm not going to go in there with that, okay, with the chicken lunches and, you know, the chicken dinners and stuff that, you know how they go. Now we're going to talk about real business, and I'm going to tell you some real stats, and you might not like me, but I'm not coming disrespectful to you. I'm coming about how you make change.
It's real.
You know, so a lot of us, like when they say, well, it's black on black crime. True. I'm working on figuring out how to do that. We finna start a music program where if you make positive music, we're gonna help you put your EP out. We can't tell these kids to stop talking about this when the system pays them to talk about that. So when we build a system that pays them to talk more positive, if we want them to talk about it. You know, like I'm solution based like that. So we actually doing that. We actually building our own schools. We actually getting our own event centers and stuff. You know, so we're not gonna just keep talking and blaming. We're gonna call it out, whatever we see on both sides, and we're gonna figure out how can we fix it. You know what I'm saying? Get the ego out, because if the ego in there, all you care about is your point of view. My ego ain't never in there, so I'm gonna give you my point of view, and then I want to hear yours, and then we figure out how can we make this match.
Right.
You know.
See, you know, back when when we was more of like a tribal community, because what you're talking about is a tribal concept, because in the tribe you don't got one mom, you don't have one mother, you got 100 mothers. You don't have one father, you have 100 fathers. So those fathers and those mothers, there are systems in place for the children to grow up and to be successful in keeping with those specific systems. You see what I mean? Whether it's a rites of passage for young men, you know, whether it's understanding what it means to be a daughter for the young women, whether it's like marriage rites and rituals and things like that, to where, you know, young men and young women ain't dating. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You know, boundaries within a civic community where drugs and things like that don't come in. I mean, if me and you in the same community, right, and there's 100 men like me and you, ain't no drugs gonna be in that community.
We're cleaning it up, you know.
And
you take pride on it. Yeah. See, and that's why I talk about gentrification, right? We run down our communities and then we want to move out of it. Then we get mad when they come by for cheap, and then next thing you know, it's a skyscraper or something there. Won't we first of all stop breaking it down? But like when I bought their property on the east side that I had showed you, they were telling me, well, this and that is the hood. I'm like, I'm not worried about that, because we have to get to the point. I'm from the street, so I respect those guys still, right? But if I buy some property in the hood, oh, y'all gonna move around, because y'all will move around if them other companies come. You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep it G, and we gonna chop it up. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta stop being scared of our own people to say, no, y'all gotta move around, y'all gotta do better. And I'm offering opportunities so we can do this one way or the other. We can, you know what I'm saying? But I'm buying this property, and when I buy this, we cleaning it up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving you a forewarning. I hope we can figure it out and do it, but we got to be scared about. We got to stop being scared about our own people to do better for our people. Right. And that's the problem. We run down our community and we move to another side that don't like us still, and then we get mad. Talking about they gentrifying it. No, you ran it down and moved out. He bought it for cheap, and now it's worth 5-10 times more. Right. Why are we not doing that? You know.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so that's when I always took on, like, we gotta, it's not a one trick pony, man. We always tell people we fight so many wars at one time. You know, we got a lot of wars going on, from sister food to the air we
Oh
breathe to,
man, yeah,
like, yeah, you know, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand why a lot of us like kind of tap out, because it's just so much. It's a lot, you know, it's a lot for me, but I take it in different. Like you say, it's purpose for me. So I'm energized every day because I'm trying to figure out how to build a system within this system that's better for my people, that gets us over the top. Like, this is like
Right,
you said, a game. Like, real estate is a game. This is a game. You know, it's a
right,
serious game. It's a life or
right,
death game, but it's still a
right,
game. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And if we don't know
right,
the rules and we don't know how to conduct ourselves, get away from the emotions, that what I talked about when we did that city hall conference in Killeen. They ended up talking about, well, we voted and the law passed, and why why y'all stopping you know, that weed law that they passed in Killeen and Harper.
right.
The citizens are still wondering why it's really not enforced. And I'm like, hold on, first of all, y'all don't know, no matter what your city come up with, state and federal still always overrides all that. We got to know this type of stuff.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's
We got to
right.
know this type of stuff. But what happens is we're fed from birth just about the hope, vote, and pray, and everything will be all right. And it's like,
Right.
no, you can do all that, but you got to put in real work after that.
Real talk.
We got to stop talking about voting so much and start talking about, man, do we got a PAC group? Do we got lobbyists? Like the
Right.
LGBT and Latinos, everybody got a specific bill for their people, but us. They tell
Right.
us, well, you got the healthcare. Our bill is whatever everybody get. That's what they say is our bill. But everybody else got individualized bill, right?
Right.
But what's the caveat in that? Yeah, we at the bottom, so they care the least about us. But what PAC group that's black for black issues that's raising millions of dollars that's putting that behind a candidate? Tell me one.
Right.
And I
Right.
can tell
Right.
you
No, that's real.
LGBT groups, I can tell you Latino groups, I can tell you Jewish groups, I can tell you Chinese groups, I can tell you every other group that got millions of dollars that they putting behind candidates to do what they want them to do specifically for their people. So we can't just vote and just get mad it don't work out our way. We got to vote. We got to raise money. We got to start PACs. We got to be in groups. We got to have think tanks. We got to know what candidate is best for what we want. We got to vet these candidates. We got to have them come talk to a group of us and demand what we want. If we give you this $5 million and this $10 million as our PAC, as our group, this is what we want. Are you going to do it? No? Okay, we're going to the next one. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. If you're not working for us, we're not dealing with you.
Right.
You know, and it's just business, man. America is a corporation. When we
Yes,
start
sir.
realizing that all it, it's not fair and it ain't nothing fair. I tripped my mom out the other day because she was talking about how life ain't fair sometimes. She got into, you know, I don't like all that kind of talk. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I said, Mom, one of my mentors always told me, if you want something fair, you got to. A fair is where you can go see a pig at. You know, like know, if you want fair, go see a pig and go get you some cotton candy or whatever. But in life, in this game, especially when you're talking about wealth, economics, power, this is a big boy game, man. You got to be ready for it. And like I always say, it's a 40-year-old Donald Trump. I'm 40 years old. It's a 40-year-old Donald Trump that refused to let me get in his spot.
Right.
And I refuse to be kicked out of his spot. So what we gonna do? We're gonna end up clashing. So what do I got to do? He got all the resources. He got all the money. He got generations of wealth, right? I don't got none of that. So what I got to do, I got to outthink him because I can't outspend him. I can't out-resource him. I got to realize that I got to team up with partners I got to. You know what I'm saying? Building with you and people like you empowers me.
Right.
I'm cool by myself. But I'm more of a mom and pop store by myself. But if I get with 30 guys like you, I'm impossible to touch. I'm impossible to beat,
we're impossible. That's right.
Yeah, you know, so we
got to take it serious too.
Yeah, and it's a life, and it's a lifestyle. It's not just something I wake up one day. You got to feel like that on good days and bad days. You got to feel like that when your partnership is going great and when your partnerships are going bad. Because at the end of the day, this is business, and it ain't always gonna be good. We got that's the relationship of knowing and building, and like that's why I'm so proud of what me and Van is doing, because you was there. You know, you was there. You was there when we was building, and you was there as it went separate ways, and people was whispering about whatever. You know, you was in the middle of it. You was right there at that table, and for us to come full circle to realize, you know what, I wasn't ready. You wasn't ready. our mindsets wasn't ready. We're learning this whole game still because we're first generational in our families that's trying to do this. We didn't have grandpas and we didn't have uncles that gave us the game. Say your business partner, sometimes y'all gonna see odds, but you got to work through it like this. We don't got that coaching, we don't got that knowledge, you know. So we got to do it on the fly. So that's a proud moment of mine, and I brought that up because you were in the mix. You was there at the day one, and you was there when it went separate ways, and you was there when. And what I do the whole time, I kept it respectful, and I went my way because I understand that it's gonna come back around. But what would happen about it? Just say, man, forget them Negroes and forget this and disrespectful and all that. Like most of us do when things go bad, we kind of get disrespectful and stuff like that.
Then you wouldn't be in the position.
I stay quiet about it, you know.
Right. Then you wouldn't be where you at right now.
Yeah.
Because all that negative energy would have brought down your vibration. You know what I'm saying? But rather than, so you made a conscious decision to stay on a high vibration. That's why you manifested the things that you manifested now. And that's what is special about us, especially when we get together, is that anything that we ever set our mind to can come to pass. Talking about, I think Keys talks about this, about how most of our ancestors weren't able to create patents, but most of them were the inventors of 90% of the tools and things that we utilize on a daily basis.
Yeah, for sure. That's just a fact.
That's just a fact, right? Because there's something special about you.
Yeah.
There's something special about you. That's why, I'm a Bruce. So,
yes, sir.
we believe the curse. We believe in the scripture. They talk about the curses. The curses that will follow our people.
Yeah.
But it also talked about the blessing. The curse was really, we are blessed people. I mean, who that can produce 1 billion pounds of cotton a year? You ever held a piece of cotton in your hand?
Yeah.
It weighs nothing, right?
Yeah.
You talking about this people built this nation.
Yeah.
I see you got the FBA, shout out the FBA, right?
Hey, you already know, foundational, man. We the foundation of this, you know.
That's right. That's right. Built this whole nation right off our ancestors' hands and sweat and blood and tears, right? The curse is that we had to give it away.
Yeah.
That's the curse.
That's the curse.
You are blessed people.
Yeah.
Anything that you touch your hand to is going to be prosperous. The curse is that you got to give it away.
Yeah. For real. And I never heard it like that. I'm glad you said it like that, man, because that's powerful the way you just put it. Because you hear a lot of people talk about, well, we was cursed, it was this, because that's the generation that just falls into the brainwashing of what we were told or what we were told to think or what we were told to see it as. And it just never made sense to me. I don't know. I wasn't like the biggest Bible reader. I didn't know, but I'm like, something ain't add up to me. Like, how we curse people? We the greatest. Like we was we the original. We the this, we the that.
Yeah.
I can't subscribe to that word just cursing. It was like me and my grandma, and I like to, I see sometimes my mom and my grandma don't like it that I put out that we had these conversations, but it's just real. Like we really in real estate. And I told my grandma about the slavery verse in the Bible. And she was like, well, we just had to go through this and that and that. No, you're not gonna. Like, I need to talk to the Most High then, and I need to figure out why my people had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did we have to go through that? You know what I'm saying? Like when they say when they you good?
When they say what?
No, I'm just saying when they talking about this, we just had to go through this, or they say we was when the Bible talk about slavery, right, and obey your master.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it like that. It's only one way to take that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I do is not, like I say, never disrespecting, but I'm a challenger. Like, if you tell me don't question, then I don't really want to subscribe to that, because I don't want to subscribe to nothing I can't question. That's just
right.
Like even if you're all the way positive, I should be able to still question it if I feel something funny about it, But the fact that you pushing it down my throat that I can't question makes me question it even more. That's just the rebel in me.
Right.
So
no, and everything should be questioned. We've been fed, man. We've been fed the oppressor's mindset, philosophy, and
Yeah.
perspective on life,
Yeah.
even down to our diets,
Yeah.
on what we can eat and what we can't eat, even the biology and science behind our so-called sicknesses and healings
Yeah.
in the hospital. It's not even based on us.
It's based on someone that don't have the same makeup as us. They don't even
That's
have the same
correct.
makeup to tell us what our makeup should be doing. And
That's
like
right.
per se, you didn't have all these diseases before we interacted with them. Like
That's
when we was just
that's
in
correct.
Africa on our own, we was eating from the land. Everything was plentiful. We wasn't fighting over territory. Well, we was fighting over territory, but like food and stuff like that, it wasn't like we wasn't fighting to mass produce because it was like plentiful. Like,
It
okay,
was plentiful,
you want some,
right?
you want whatever's growing, go get you some. Like, but
Right.
when we got with them, everything got to get sectioned off. Everything got more. It turned into the system we live in today. You
Turn
know,
into the system we live in today. That's
you
right.
know.
That's right. To the
So
point where they got fake, they got, AI, artificial intelligence,
yeah,
artificial insemination, and artificial ingredients.
everything, bro.
Everything is artificial.
Everything, bro. And
Right.
we don't get it. And I'm still fighting with my family about how we got to change it because we're born, and that's why, like, what's well, I hate the most when I see a 1 or 2 year old get fed that first McDonald's fry or something, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
parent be
yeah.
so excited to give it to him. Oh, my baby
Right,
like this, and I'm like, you just started. It's basically like you just put some cocaine or something down your baby throat, but
right.
you're happy that you're doing it. Now, what
That's true.
any parent with the right mind should not be happy giving their baby some cocaine or something, but that's what you do when you give them. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
I was gonna say no parent should be, but it is some thrown out parents out here, you know.
uh-huh.
But any
Yeah.
parent in their right mind should not be like, I want to give my 2-year-old a line of cocaine
Right,
or whatever drug. So why would you
right,
give them the McDonald's? That's the same drug. I don't know why
right.
we see it different. It's the same drug, and our people are
That's
dying by
true.
that. That's why I'm like, okay, we're gonna question the black on black crime, which is cool. But what kills more black people than anything? What we eat. So it's time to talk to grandma. It's time to talk to the aunties. It's time to check all the people that's been feeding us all our lives about why we not
Right,
on a more healthy diet, why we not more consciously eating this certain food or that. I had to
right,
get to a certain age and just stop eating certain food on my own. You know what I'm
right, right,
saying?
right.
And that's what I'm saying. This is a whole cultural thing that we got to change from everything that we do. The whole way we program from birth, man. We got to stop.
Yes.
It got to start being a form of child abuse. If you see someone feeding a child McDonald's, that's to be
Right,
child abuse to me.
right. You're
You know,
right.
so
You're right.
that's what I'm saying. And we can't be scared to call it out. And there's no wealth shame. There's no, well, you think you better. No, I want us to be better. I want us to get
Right.
better. I'm not the perfect eater yet, but I have changed 1,000% of
A
what I used
lot.
to eat.
Right. Me too. Me too. Me too.
You know?
Because healed means healthy.
Yeah.
Healed is healthy. So if we need to be healed, if we gonna be healed as a people, we should be healthy in our bodies, our temple. We
Yeah.
should be healthy in our mind. We should be healthy in our finances. We should be healthy
Everything.
in our friendships, our relationships.
Relationships.
All that stuff should be. That's what healed means. It means healthy,
Yes.
right? So everything should be healthy in that
Everything.
regard,
But
right?
man, this, I want to respect our time. We're gonna try to keep the hour. I know, like we talked about some episodes where we might do longer, so we can chop it up for busy schedules and stuff. And I
Right.
know I started out by saying Realer Than Real Estate Wednesdays, but what we came to find out, this man right here is super busy. You know what I'm saying? But for me to get him 2 weeks in a row, I'm so excited. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but I
yeah.
want to continue to build on this, and this is what I always tell people, because I have people mad at me right now. Why? Because my life ain't on their schedule. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And it's
right,
weird.
right,
Every time I come at you, I always tell you what works for you on your
right, right,
schedule.
right. That's true. That's true.
We can't be selfish to, man, I want to do this show, but he ain't showing up or he too big.
Right.
No. When can you? It's not ready for you. And we talked about this a couple months ago,
Right,
And
right.
I
A few
and I
months
thought
ago,
about
yeah.
doing it, and I said it ain't gonna be right. I'm just gonna wait till it's right with him. And then
Right,
you just popped up like, hey, let's go with it. You know,
right.
but and I talked about this on the Tapped Out podcast the other day. We got to start respecting each other and what each other got going on. Like,
That's true.
I can't be so selfish that I want you to come do something for me that I'm mad at you that you didn't, And I ain't even thought about what you going through, thought about your family, thought about you already got limited time with your wife and kids because of your schedule. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me getting mad about you not showing up, it's me considering that shit, he on the grow like me. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife, he already complaining about I don't give her enough time. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, and then after she complained about it, what I do? Been gone all day. Go do I went and met with a couple of black men doing some stuff at 6 o'clock. Had to run to HEB, get her some for food, and then I ran right up in here, threw my dog outside, said I got to go live with my boy. So even after she told me that I ain't giving her enough time, the work and the purpose, I still had to do what I had to do.
That's right.
I have to respect it, and I gotta respect what she said. I gotta carve out more time. I gotta do that, you know. But I need her to understand my purpose, like you say, my purpose and what I'm driven on. This is not just like a job. If you got a job and your significant other wants you to quit, you can kind of find another job, right?
Right.
But when you connect with your purpose, bro,
that's right.
It's bigger than everything. It's bigger than me. It ain't even about me more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm and then when my big bro died, it's either on another level because I'm like, and I used to tell him this, and that's what crushed me at his funeral, man. I was at his wake that Friday, right? From 1 to 5. Handful of people showed up. I'm talking about he used to be partying with people, drinking, his co-workers. He lived that type of life. He really wasn't in the business life with me, but he lived that type of life. And I used to tell him, like, we got to worry about impact. These people ain't gonna care at the end. And at the end, they didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But I could feel like, okay, if I do an impact, if I'm changing lives, if I'm setting up institutions, if I'm setting up all this, when I go, that's gonna be bigger felt because of the impact I was doing. Not just if I go party and I do all this. Them people ain't gonna care if something happened to me, you know what I'm saying? But the people I'm pouring into, the community I'm pouring into, the things I'm gonna be remembered about in 100, 200 years, that's gonna be forever. It's I think I said this last week. Malcolm X died the same year Malcolm X and Martin Luther King died. A lot of black men died that year. We only remember them because of remember them. We only remember them because of the work they put in, the impact, and the fearlessness they had. You know, so that's true. But that's the tip I'm on, man. But any last words, man, as we end this up, man? And before he go, it was supposed to be realer than real estate. That's what I was gonna say before I got on a tangent. Right. But we have realized with his schedule and our schedule, we're gonna keep a weekly show, but it's just gonna be floating for right now. You know?
Yeah, it's floating for real, right?
So just, hey, tap in with us, say subscribe, like, share all that, but just keep up with us, and we'll let you know what's going on, as we figure it out, man. But in last words, man, so I can get you to your wifey, you know what I'm saying? Because you've been gone all day.
Yeah. My last words will be, as far as how you was talking about. What you was talking about is like trying to have a balanced life versus having a purposeful life, right? So my chief brought it out. He said, just make sure that the time that you do have is quality time.
Yeah.
Right. It's never going to be balanced, especially the type of quality, the type of caliber of men that we are. We see something, and now we see something on the inside. Now it's got to come to the outside, right? And typically it does. Right? Like you got the building. Man, you just talked about this. You talked about it. And guess what? The building came to you. So whenever we living like that, just make sure that, whenever you do have that time, just have that quality time. Make sure that it's quality. Because that's what's most important. Right. And then whenever you working, make sure it's quality work. I know after getting off the phone, after getting off this with you, I'm finna call my 50 people tomorrow.
Gotta get it.
I'm gonna go get it tomorrow. I'm gonna call about 50 people tomorrow. I ain't playing.
That's what's up, man. Well, I salute you. I'm thankful that we connected again, bro. I look forward to we're gonna have a big year, you know what I'm saying, individually and collectively, you know what I'm saying? Because I know we both rooting for each other individually and collectively. We got things that we want to do, but I see what you're doing individually or your team, and you see what I'm doing, and we're gonna figure out how to make sure we support each other either way, if it's together or if it's not, you know what I'm saying? Because we're still tied in, even if when you're doing your solo act, I'm still there clapping for you because that's a win for me. You winning ain't nothing but a win for me. Why? Because we connected. I know, hey, my partner hit 100 mil tomorrow. Hey, I can say, Big Mike, hold on, man.
That's right. No, that's real. That's real.
that's a positive. That, you know, and I talked about this when I went live last night. We got to get used to supporting and pushing each other and making it cool to do it, because like I brought up earlier, a lot of us, especially where we from, we get a little envious streak in us. Even the ones that swear you don't got it, we all get a quick little streak. Some they can get it out, and some they just leave it in there, and we got to teach them how to get it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's true.
But I salute you, man. There's another episode of Realer Than Real Estate Realer Than Real Estate. You know what I'm saying? Let me get away from Wednesday.
Realer Than Real Estate.
Realer Than Real Estate with my boy Mike Lane. And I look forward to the event as March 3rd.
March 9th.
March 9th.
Yeah, March 9th, 6:30. I think it's 6 o'clock. Yeah.
I'll be there early, man, and I'll be there with my notebooks and ready, you know, man. So I'll be tapped in with you. Hopefully we can link back up soon, come by the house, and we can start putting up some plays together, man.
You're gonna be at the house tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm about to put out a flyer now talking about office space, vendor space, parking lot space, different spaces that I'm gonna be renting out. So I'm putting a flyer together for that now. But yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. Yeah,
I think me and Jerry might pull up. Jerry definitely pulling up on Saturday though. He called me today and told me.
Okay, yeah, we got to get the homie on here too. We're gonna have to have a special edition when we got the team on here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, man. So, wouldn't be right without Jerry. So
yeah, man, that's love, man. So I'll be tapped in with you. I'll be there tomorrow, so you get some time, follow through on me. Just let me know you're there. If I'm not there, I'll be at the thrift store. But you know that's only a couple minutes away, man.
Right.
Another powerful conversation. I look forward to talking to you. I look forward to building with you, bro. And I'll talk to you soon, man. Love, man.
All right, for sure.
Thank y'all for tapping in, and we'll see y'all next week.